Well, we didn't get much time there for a break. I was supposed to be going to get a coffee, but I had no time to do that either. So, well, we've just watched one Pocket Slim eventually get through. Again, Super Noob on the winner's side. Slim by just the odd couple of racks, 19 racks to 17. While that's been going on, there's been a couple of updates in the bracket, as well as the update, obviously, for this match. There are two matches that have been arranged that I certainly won't be streaming, and that one will be the match between Shaft Tracks and Cirrus on the one loss side. It's been arranged for 3 AM in the morning tomorrow morning, and also Mr. Bill has a match arranged with Tommy Yu on the one loss side, and that is at 11:30 AM tomorrow morning. And I'll be at work until 2 PM tomorrow afternoon, so if you want to see any of those matches, especially the one at 3 AM in the morning, good luck, and you can let me know how they get on. Meantime, we've got the match that we're waiting on now, the first match of this evening, which is between Sergeresh and HAZAD on the one loss side, race to 13. That's about to start in about 4 minutes time. And then, of course, the outcome of this match is important for Slim, because the winner of this match coming up, which is between Spectredawn, this third round match, and hairpig, the winner that goes through here is going to be playing one Pocket Slim. And Slim, well, you would think again he does definitely need to step up, and it might be worth getting a bit of practice in if he wants to be a contender for later on in the tournament, because he scraped through today against a guy whom I cannot work out. I can't quite work out, but he's Super Noob is now on the one loss side. I don't know where the hell he is, but he's there. See if we can see him. Yeah, he's going to play Mr. Strocum on the one loss side, and that's anybody's guess as to how that will go. So they say there's a couple of matches set. Sergeresh and HAZAD, we're waiting to go ahead, and then the other match that has been arranged is Mal and Snake Eyes, has been arranged for whatever date that is, the 24th. It's that Saturday night, while I think Cobra, Larry and Cobra are for a week tonight at 7 PM. Yeah, I think that's the deal. So Saturday night we have a fourth round match between Mal and Snake Eyes, and then Sunday night we've got another fourth round match between Larry and Cobra. And that is us fully up to date. So we'll just bide our time. Both players are in, both players have been practicing, HAZAD and Sergeresh. And well, this match will cross over into the main match of this evening. We'll see how that goes, how things go up till 8 o'clock. But this room will be appearing in the next minute or so, and we'll get dived in, ready to go. Good evening, good afternoon if you're in the States, good evening if you're anywhere else, good morning if you're down below or down south or down under. Various hours of the day and night for people watching this. So we have the two matches. As I said, we will be crossing over to the main one. That's the intention. Spectredawn, one of the serious contenders for this championship, and he'll be looking to put in a good performance, but that depends on how obliging Hairpig is going to be, so we look forward to that one. And meanwhile, these two guys that are about to go at it are fighting to see who's going to stay in the tournament and who's going home. Right, any second now we should have a room up top, and we'll go straight in as soon as it appears. Our cloth colour hasn't been touched, so we're okay for the start of the match. Well, I thought a room appeared there. Aye, it did. There we go. Right, so we are in. HAZAD is in. And Sergeresh is in as well, so the lag for the break. And HAZAD has won the lag and gets first shout. Now, that ball has just appeared where it appears. He hasn't moved it. And he's got at least 3 balls in the break. And a thin cut in the 1. The 2, the 4 and the 5 have gone. And he's got a good chance of running out here. If he can get that 1 ball to get him started. Oh, he's babied the 3 ball and hung it. First mistake. Well, it wasn't long before the first mistake came, but there it is. Blinking you'd miss it. And Sergeresh, the open invitation to help himself to the first rack. That needs to keep running, and that's not a bad line. Seems fairly straightforward enough. Pot the 8, let the cue ball come off the top rail, run down for the 9. And so that's a big chance scored there straight away for HAZAD after that. After winning the lag, excellent break shot, 3 balls in the break, and then fails on his second shot in that attempted run out. Unforced errors are a no-no. So Sergeresh's turn, and immediately we're back to the old faithful dry break city. Well, this is an awkward one. I mean, there is space on the left hand side by the 8 ball in between the 8 and the 7 to get to the 4. And if it nudges into the 8, that will do very nicely. That is not a bad outcome, but that was the right idea, getting down that left hand side. 8 ball just holding it up. Can HAZAD redeem himself though? After that bit of a hash in the first rack. So we're 1 loss side, race to 13. And HAZAD has been absolved from his cock up in the first rack, and he's squared the match. And again, a couple of balls in the break. Is he going to see that one? Maybe not. The 9 ball coming down as a blocker. Well, if he just kicks to the 1, nice and gentle, He might get covered like that. That's not a bad result either. Don't think there's anything left there for Sergeresh. Well, out with the jump stick at long distance or long range. Well, that's a good shot. Of course, the problem's usually always getting enough momentum into the cue ball at distance to get it to not only hit the object ball you're trying to hit, or in this case the ball you're trying to pot, but to get it going forward and coming back up the table, because this too isn't easy. That was very close to the rail. Now can HAZAD try and get in behind the 9? What's he looking at here? Is he looking at the bank? Or is he looking for cover? He's going all out for the bank. Well, this is a difficult cut at the best of times. And that's a great shot. Needs it to bounce. That really was an excellent shot. They're not easy to pick the line. Just unfortunately, he's not ideal on this. What the hell is it? 3 ball or 5 ball? 5 ball it is. And that's how you always, you go that way in 1 ball, you end up getting worse in the next ball. He needs another good cut. But this 8 ball will do him a favour, because that'll hold him in play for the 7. Should stop the cue ball squirting away. But he's overcut the 6. That's another toughie. Where's the cue ball finishing though? Oh. This cue ball wants to run over towards that left middle pocket, playing this angle. And he's avoided that. Maybe could have done with a wee bit less juice on it. So the one thing you've got to do with this is go 100% for the pot and make sure there's enough weight on it to come off this rail and back up into the table. And he's done neither. He's chickened out again. Got to go 100%. He's almost got there for the pot, but it wasn't all that convincing a shot. Well, where's the cue ball going? Well, that nearly ended up in an absolute disaster there for Sergeresh. But anyway, it's 2 racks gone that HAZAD should have had. I think that's it in a nutshell. And so both of those racks that Sergeresh have got should be HAZAD's. Well, that's going to be a good end result. Well, the one ball's finished. Not difficult to hit. And of course, those two balls there acting as guards. The four's going to get kicked in. And now he's got to look for a safety. Now, how's that 8 ball sitting? See if we can go over quick enough to have a look at it. He's trying to cross bank. He's got the bank. But I think that 8 ball will go. Once again, the golden rule is as long as you get good on it. And here's the first test of this visit for Sergeresh. Find a way up to the 5 ball. Has he hit it enough? Well, he's just hit it. But now he's got very little choice as to what he's doing here to try and still have a shot in this 6 ball. Well, again, things just end up getting tougher and tougher. The more out of shape you get in one shot, it keeps going. And there's where the mistake comes. You're just asking too much. But once again, it's nothing easy for HAZAD. Does he try the thin cut? Does he go for the bank? Ball's in his court. He's gone for the cut. Now again, time to have a quick look at this 8 ball. See, the more you look at it from that point of view, it ain't going anywhere there. Or is it? Is it on the knuckle? On the point? It's... See, when you look at it there, it looks as if you could drop it in. But he's finished as best he can on this. You've got to be careful with it though. He doesn't want to catch that far knuckle of this jaw. And he's played it well, but again, he's forgot about the cue ball. And he's way out of line. And this could be a 3rd rack that's going west, but he's dug himself out a hole there. That's a good shot in the 9. So, back all square, 2 racks all, 7 ball goes in, and a golden break. The 9 ball has gone as well, and HAZAD jumps into the lead. Very handy that. Quickly followed by a dry break. Dry but safe. Well, I say safe. Sergeresh fancies jumping over this if I can keep my eyes open. And the 1 goes. That's a good shot. Just a pity he didn't get enough in it. And not the best of safeties. That's all I'll say about that one. Well, the problem here for HAZAD is just dropping the 3 in softly enough that he stays very adjacent to that 4. So even that has gone out further than you would like. But he's got to be 100% committed to this. He can still cut this, jab it in. Oh, he's pushed it to the jaw. Is he going to fluke it? No. Well, I'm beginning to wonder now, is Gary the only person watching this? Everybody else is going quiet. That's a good bank. Is he going to see this 5? Yes, he is. He certainly is. Very nicely on the 5. 6 ball doesn't go past the 7, so trying to get behind it. So Sergeresh battling to square the match again, to take the sting out of that golden break by HAZAD in the last rack. Oh, that's no good, is it? Oh, well, I wasn't giving him that one, just to pace it, let it go in. So all square again. 3 racks all. And once again, the old dry break voodoo raises its ugly head. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a better shot. Now he can pot the, if he's confident, he would pot the 2 and stun up to the 4 on that side rail, and that would hold him for the 3. That would be the confident shot. See, he's trying to run out. I think the shot to play with the one I was talking about, stun into the 4 to hold for the 3. He's holding the line, but the cue ball's going the other way. You see, that's him now out of line again. Trying to send a cue ball on paths right into the traffic. You're going to come a cropper sooner or later. Now he's got to find what should be a good safety. That's what's required here. Oh, again, he's going all out for the pot, and that's maybe not a good strategy, because he might find himself nailed behind the 7 any second. Well, that could have been played a bit better by Sergeresh. That was a poor effort. So now we're going to have a bit of cat and mouse, but somebody's got to try and get distance here to move this rack on, rather than getting bogged down in all of this. But it's a question of who's going to take that risk. Well, HAZAD is not necessarily, it's HAZAD, Sergeresh is not necessarily taking the risk. He's just played a completely duff safety shot. HAZAD with a golden opportunity to get back into the lead. He's going to run too far. Almost too far in that 6. Well, that 8 ball has done him a huge favour, because that cue ball was ending up nowhere on this 7 ball. That was going to end up in the bottom, the top rail as we look at it. Is he going to be able to get the job done here? I mean, there's nothing difficult here to get on this 9. So, HAZAD just to 9, and a slender lead once again. 4 racks to 3. And like before, well, a ball has gone in, and it's the 1 ball, and that is pretty handy, because the 2 ball is very adjacent. Problem's the 3 where it's ended up. I'm not convinced the 3 goes past the 6 down into this corner. Let's have a look at this from here. Well, it does go, but it is very tight. I mean, you've got to nail it right on the rail where the 6 is for to give that a chance to go in, I think. Oh, he's hit it flush. That was beautiful. I did not think that would go as clean as that. Pity as he's almost in no man's land again in this 4, but that was a cracking shot in the 3. Well, anywhere over on the left hand side is the order of the day with this shot here. And he needs to slow down, because he's ended up too square again. He's ended up with these tough things. He overhit that by a big margin. He wanted to leave that just above the 9 ball. And he's going to have to keep digging out shots like this to keep runs going. That's another recovery shot. But this 8 and 9 will give HAZAD a 2 rack cushion. Once again, have a quick look at the 9, where it is in the rail, or in relation to the rail. And then it goes. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Sid. That's another new name I haven't seen before. And HAZAD breaks off, ball in the break, 4 balls gone. Shot in the 1. No problem getting over to the left rail in that gap behind the 3 ball for the 2. And a very good chance of running out another rack here. He could be on a roll here, HAZAD, if he takes his time. Well, the simple shot's just to roll the 3 in, but you just got to be careful of that middle pocket. Yeah, he's fine. See, the problem now though is he's stuck to the rail, and he's going to brush off this 6, and there's a danger of him scratching here, potting this 5. Now that's why he's missed the 5, because he was taking it far too quick, and didn't give it enough time to get himself set right. Well, I was thinking that might be smoking Sid. Yeah, there's a lot of us in the same boat where we don't get time to play it half as much as we'd want to. Circumstances dictate that. And Sergeresh is having to use the old magic wand for the escape route here. Well, he's pretty damn good with a jump stick, I'll say that for him. I was watching, I'm pretty certain I was watching a video on, I think it's Alanville's channel that he's got on YouTube. He's not got much of a channel, there's about 6 or 7 videos on it, but I was watching a video during the week, and I saw, in fact, tell a lie, it wasn't, it was, you know Patrick from VP3, you'll know him. He changed his name to everything, but he changed his name to Concentrator before VP3 shut down, and he was Concentrator for quite a while. Well, I watched some videos on his one of his YouTube channels during the week, and it was him in a challenge room, and he had been recording it, and it was 13 years ago, and one of the names that popped up was Smoking Sid. Among other players, Romario was there. I can't remember who the other ones were, but there were names that... Romario hasn't been here for a long while now. He's been away for probably the best part of a year since we last seen him, but Smoking Sid was there in VP3 13 years ago. Oh, well, I'm sure it was Smoking Sid. Yeah, well, he appeared on Virtual Pool 4 for a very short period of time, right at the beginning, and he changed his name to Mr. Coconut, and he's just now making crazy videos on YouTube as a 1,000-year-old man. So he's got at least 2 YouTube channels. The one where all he does is talk about his audio cables and stuff like that. And then his 1,000-year-old man one where all he does is talk like some sort of guru. And he's definitely nuts. He's nuts, but as far as we know, he's not done any harm to anybody so far. HAZAD with the slender lead, 5 racks to 4. And that is not a bad safety. That is nailed onto that 7. I've never heard of that name. Not at any time did I ever see that name in VP3. Star of Paradise. Well, you know, sometimes this, you know, if you look at some of his videos on that 1,000-year-old man, if you look at some of his videos, to me, he's an AK-47 away from being a mass murderer. That's the way I see him. Oh dear. Well, I gave up trying to relight any former years in this game. I'm semi-retired pretty much. In fact, all I play now is all I get to play now is cowboy in the 10-footer in the mornings on my days off with some of the guys from the States, because it's late at night their time. That's the only time I really get a game. Such are my working hours, and the fact that I'm knackered most of the time when I get home. That and the fact I'm getting old. Age is catching up with us. Well, HAZAD is 2 balls away from a 2-rack lead. And just a reminder to any latecomers, this is the sort of, well, that's a poor one. That is terrible. All the room to get there, and you've got to get past that middle pocket to make your life a lot easier. And he's got there eventually. Yeah, this is a warm-up match. It's a one-loss side match in this year's Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. Race to 13. I never even checked to remind myself where Sergeresh is from. He's from Belarus, I think that says. Well, Mal's the man to beat, and it's a tough ask for somebody to beat him. That's all I'm going to say. Put it this way, if there was a trophy for this tournament, the engraver's already he's already started the letter M on the trophy at this stage in the tournament. Well, HAZAD's missed the kick. Now can Sergeresh take this out? Right, I'll get it out yet. This is the warm-up match. In about 29 minutes time, we have a winner's side match, a round 3 match I think it is, between Spectredawn and Hairpig. HAZAD, of course, from England, Sergeresh from Belarus in this match. And perfect little table to run out. You know, there's certain things you've got to do. The first thing is getting on the 5 from this 4, and then the other one is getting top side of the 6 so that you can pot it and get on the 7. So the little technical aspects of it are your accurate positioning to get you to the next ball. And that is not a bad effort. And that's like one of those stun draw shots that I keep talking about, that players should keep practicing on and trying to work at. They're a vital part of your control mechanism in VP4 and controlling that cue ball. Down by the middle pocket. Again, that's short. You've got to just get beyond the middle pocket just to make it nice and comfortable. But he shouldn't have any problem, really. And that's a good run out for Sergeresh. Just let HAZAD know that he's still in this. He's not letting him get away. And he's back to within 1. Once again, though, it's the old usual, very common dry break, but a shot for HAZAD. And if he holds this line, I think he's just running too far. He would have had a go at the 2-9 combo. Now he's got to be careful here. Now he's trying to run it in. Well, that's going to be a 3 and a billiard onto the 9 to win the rack here. But that's provided if Sergeresh could pot the 2. And well, he's got a pocket to put it in. Whether he can get there's another thing. This is not easy. Hampered over the 3 ball. He's made an effort at it. Now, what about the result? Well, the result is that HAZAD can see the 2, and he's got plenty of room. Although I think he's a bit straight. That is a major problem. Plus, he's on the rail, more or less. This is not quite as easy as I first thought. If you look at it, he's dead straight. And unless he tries to do something crazy with the cue ball, he's not going to be able to see enough of this 3-9 combo, I don't think. Now that's always a problem, he's just dead straight, couldn't do anything. Now what does he do? Because if he doesn't move anything, it's going to be an easy 3-9 billiard. And he's just sacrificed ball in hand. Or did he get that legally? Wow, I missed that. I missed that one. What the hell happened here? I'm getting confused. Or I'm getting tired, one of the two. I didn't think that was a legal shot, but anyway, I should have been probably closer to it. Now, Sergeresh, he won't have a lot to do other than just keep control of the cue ball. Well, now, this is where the cue ball is running all over the place. The cut back into the middle is awkward enough, but now he's just overhit it. And he's gone into that dangerous no man's land, where you know the shot you're going to have to play, but you're looking into what is a blind pocket, and that's always likely to end up like that. And so Sergeresh's chance looks to have gone in this rack, and it looks, if HAZAD can get from the 7 out into the table and good on that 8, he should take it out. Now he's not dead straight, is he? Now he can pinch a bit to go around the angles. He can go forward and around. He needs to hit it a bit more. Well, that will do, because again, the safest shot is just potting it and running through. You're going to make sure that you get high enough up the table, though. That's the other side of it. That's certainly going to be high enough. But it's going to, once he rolls this in, open it up to that little 2-rack gap. That little comfort zone, where you're hoping to capitalise on it with a nice 9 ball in the break in this rack. Two balls gone in, and the 1 ball's going to the similar no man's land position. The cut is on. And he's not hit that. Trying to hold for that 3 ball, he hasn't hit the 1. And it's another opportunity. Again, unforced error. And Sergeresh is going to have to keep taking these to just stop HAZAD drifting away. He's been given the chances. As long as he keeps taking them, sooner or later something might happen. Well, there's the something that might happen. There's a bit of bad luck. Now this is a bit close for the jump stick. Let's see whether he can land before the 4 or land on top of it. Well, he's played it again. He's played it nice. He's not bad with the jump cue. I'll give him that. And of course, with the jump stick, you've no clue where you're going to end up. I think the bank is on. He's run it in into the 8. Has it gone safe? Well, it's not bad. There is a possible combo, and I don't think it's lined up too badly either. I mean, it's actually not badly set, but HAZAD looking to keep it safe. Oh, that is a brilliant shot. There was little or no room to manoeuvre that 6 down the rail and past that 8. But he's played it so well. He deserves to win the rack from that, but he's going to have to do something else pretty good to get to that 7 because it's got no pocket to go into. And it's a long combo. He's done everything but get it in. You know, it's a tall order to ask for that from distance. After that cracking 6 ball, he deserved more out of that. But nevertheless, the important matter is that this is the biggest gap in the match that's about to happen right now. It's going to be a 3-rack lead for HAZAD. Six ball eventually goes in, 8 ball goes in top side, and no real shot in the 1. I mean, he can go for the ambitious cut to the right corner pocket and try and run the cue ball into the 2. It looks as if he's trying to see enough of this to maybe reverse bank the 1 past the 7. That's the line he looks as if he's trying to take. No, well, in the end, I'm not sure what he tried. Once again, he's almost got away with it. This is a long bank, so the jump cue doesn't go as high, and the trajectory of the jump is to go like that, but it might have been too far. So the mistakes are happening, and HAZAD is getting the best outcome of them because he's now got ball in hand. The table is pretty good from this angle, and it's a great opportunity to get 4 in front. Ideally, he wanted to miss that because now he's nailed it to the rail. Well, it's not quite on it, but it might as well be. And he needs to get a good line to it, and that is not bad. You've just got to go for 100% and make sure you get off the rail so you can get good contact with the cue ball to play that 7. Well, I would be babying this 7 in nice and gentle and just coming out for a decent line in a 9, and that's perfect. No excuses now, just to roll this in, and it's going to go to 4 racks in front. And remember now, it's only 4 racks away from surviving in the tournament for HAZAD. The 8 ball gets kicked in. He's got a thin outward cut in the 1, and the 2 ball is on. So this is a pressure shot. If he can get it, he's not really played it with a great deal of conviction, has he? Again, he's just rushing into it. You want to steady yourself down a bit and give yourself the best chance of potting these things. They need a bit more preparation. Well, Sergeresh has blown his top there with that one. I mean, that is the cardinal sin in pool, is falling the ball in. And well, HAZAD's getting a second bite at the cherry, and it's important he makes better use of this second attempt. Well, if you want to play it safe, you get up the table and get behind the 3. And if he's not too much hampered by that 4, it's just a roll in the 3. But he's going to have to draw back off it though to get on the 4. Oh, he's running too far again. Too much juice in it. That's where the big letdown is for a lot of players, is the tighter control in the cue ball. That's my biggest failing as well. Partially due to no having the technical skills, but lack of table time as well plays a part in that. But that there is just judging that control better. Some of these top guys in the tournament have got that, which is why they're the ones that are going to be contending at the end of the day. And Sergeresh has been given his lifeline. Got to make the most of it. Oh, the 7's getting more awkward and more awkward with that nudge. He's got it, and it's going to be, well, reasonable enough on the 9. Well, we are about 12-13 minutes away from the top of the hour, and from tonight's last match on the winner's side between Spectredawn and Hairpig. And meanwhile, it's 3 is now the gap. It's been cut by Sergeresh, and his break, of course, has come up dry. And that looks like a 3-4 combo. Pretty close to it as far as I can see. Well, that's going in every day of the week as long as you're sitting here. That 3-4. And HAZAD should have had a good look at it if he can find the gap between that 8 and 6. Now, what line has he got in this 2 though? It might be between the 5 and the 5 and the 8. Well, he's flipped to 2, and he's also knocked to 8 in, I think, and he's no shot in the 3. So he's in big trouble now. He's trying to brush off it, but again, it's another poor one. And it's amazing how quickly the fate of a rack can turn on one shot, but no sooner have I said that than Sergeresh again playing it with bottom in English, trying to get up the table for the 4. He's completed the second part of it, but in doing that, taking liberties with the pot, he's missed the 3. And that was all down to the work he had in the cue ball there. So HAZAD is getting yet another go to get to double figures. The 3 ball again. The cue ball, not the 3 ball. The cue ball's leaking away. This needs to slow down as well. It's just the pace control. There's the big factor in HAZAD struggling to run these balls. Just getting himself out of line. It needs more refined touch. And there, as a consequence, the unforced error comes about. And this is a good bank though. That 6 ball is a good direct bank or an up and down bank. whatever one you end up getting, but there's a very strong likelihood this will win. Well, he's went all out for the cut. I'm not so sure that that was maybe the best option, because you're only getting one choice, one chance with that attempt, which is tough enough as it is. And HAZAD has got out of jail almost. I say almost, he's still got to get the job done. But this is like a 2-rack swing this time. He's taking his time and he's got there. And so HAZAD, stumbling and bumbling, with a bit of assistance from Sergeresh, has finally got to double figures, and the lead is still 4. And the 5 ball had a look in the pocket, decided against the idea and stayed up, and the break is dry. But now all the pressure is stacked onto Sergeresh's shoulder to try and get himself out of this hole, because he's running out of racks and thereby running out of chances to do it. Well, again, an ambitious combo. And this time Sergeresh has more or less escaped. Well, at least HAZAD's hit the 1 ball. Welcome back, Cobra. I can't remember whether you were here earlier on, but welcome back anyway. I don't think there's that many watching at the moment, because there's only like, oh, there's Larry. I never even noticed Larry talking. I'm sitting here half asleep. I didn't even notice Larry was here. Well, Sergeresh has gone off the table. I'm doing my best to stay awake here, because remember, I'm back at work tomorrow morning, 4:30. And it's already getting near the witching hour for me, where I start falling asleep. I've been falling asleep since 6 o'clock, let alone it's almost 8 o'clock now. Well, 7 minutes away from it. Well, this is another nasty one. And there's a whole string load, a bus load of errors here. I don't know where I get the words, the terminology string load. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But there's a lot of them, that's what I mean. Lots of unforced errors. Well, I'll settle for that. That's not bad. I mean, HAZAD will probably go for the 2 onto the 8, but even that's not easy at that distance and at that angle. And not a bad result. Again, it's difficult. There's enough there to see the 2 and cut it. And it will just cut too wide onto the jaw. But Sergeresh has still got HAZAD in trouble now. I think he can certainly bend round that and get it. Just clipped it and no more. And the cue ball's almost back in play. Not quite. Now, aye, that's what I wanted to check. Again, I've had a drink and I've got the hiccups again. I've got the strangest effect when I drink water. Look at the cue ball. Oh dear. Almost putting himself in the hole again. Yeah, what I was looking to see is that everybody's here. So in a room, we have, we're expecting to see Spectredawn. I'll say, and I don't see Spectredawn anywhere. Oh, there he is. And I don't see Hairpig, or I've went past him. Oh, there he is. Right, he's there as well. Yeah, I'll go past anything this time of night. So, well, it's a tall order for Sergeresh now. The gap is 6, but the most important gap is just the gap between HAZAD on 11 and reaching 13. And yet another dry break. So we're a few minutes away from the start of the Spectredawn Hairpig winner side match race to 19. We'll stay with this one to the end, and then we'll catch up with that one. We won't have missed a lot, I would imagine, unless there's a substantial comeback about to take place here in this match. Well, Sergeresh is going to get first go with ball in hand, but that 2 ball is lurking away behind the 3. There's plenty of room though, you know, to land here and make a cut on it. He's trying to create some sort of miracle shot again, and he's got himself in trouble. And that's ball in hand, although I'm not sure whether it's going to be of much advantage other than just locking up to the 3. Well, he looks as if he's running it, but you know, the 5 is awkward. I'd be nailing him to that 3 ball. It's not a difficult shot, but I'd be thinking about the fact that well, the 5 ball, I mean, if you're sitting here you can have a shot at the 5 ball, but it's still no good where it is. I'd be nailing him to that 3 ball. It's pointless trying to just pot 1 ball or a couple of balls if you don't think you're going to get good shape on that 5. And well, he's committed the cardinal sin and missed the pot with ball in hand. In the end, it all died a death. So for any latecomers, we've had 2 matches updated in the bracket in terms of the times, and the times are very suitable if you live in the States. Mr. Bill and Tommy, you are set for tomorrow morning at 11:30 AM my time. That is Monday morning. And Shaft Tracks, I believe, somewhere down the bracket, where is it? Is set his match with Cirrus for 3 AM tomorrow morning. So good luck to them, but I'll be long gone before that comes about. And in the meantime, the 5 ball's still where it was since the start of the rack. HAZAD having a blast in the 4 again, trying to create some sort of miracle breakout shot that was never on. Sometimes you're just better to let the cue ball run up the table to come down the table and get in the top side of that 5 as we look. sometimes you don't need to try and create big draws. Well, Sergeresh was only maybe half an inch off of making a hit there. But, you know, the 5 doesn't go. And there's no combo set anywhere, neither as there was the 8 ball, the 7 ball's a blocker. And what's the end result like? Not too good, I'm afraid. So, not necessarily a dead set run out here, if only because of where the 8 ball is and where the 9 ball's sitting. But again, you have to err on the safety side in getting onto this 9. If you're running a cue ball, you want to make sure that you're running it to here or to here. Down here, you'll still have a shot. Here, no good. And unbelievably, he's missed the 8. Again, it's doing everything to give Sergeresh his chance to get back in the match, and Sergeresh is doing the right thing. Just get it down past that middle pocket so you can't miss it. It's still a mountain to climb. It comes into that category. But the gap's down to 4, and all he needs is the brake to start working. And then panic might set in. But alas, it was not to be. Back to what it's been like for most of this match. I mean, there's been the odd couple of balls in the brake and stuff, but most of them are dry. There's an awful lot of traffic to start moving cue balls around the table here. He's gone all out for the pot, which, you know, there was no real danger in taking it on from basically where the 2 ball's sitting. It's awkward. But if you started to try and let the cue ball run, you were bound to run into something. Now HAZAD is hampered over the 5, but if he can just chip this 1, if he can just brush it, he'll have a decent enough safety. He has to brush it without hitting the 4, and that's not bad. Not difficult to kick, but difficult to get the 1 ball away because of those balls guarding it, and HAZAD has got his reward. 1 ball is on, and the only awkward ball, you can see where it is on the left rail. Well, that almost went badly wrong, but he doesn't have anything to do other than pot the 2 and just run through a bit and make sure he runs through far enough to get off the rails and be able to roll that 3 ball in. 4 ball over the other middle pocket. So see, this shot here, you have to be thinking about what you're doing. You must come back off that 3 to leave the angle in the 4. He's played a drag shot and killed it, and he's entirely the wrong side of the 4. So again, he's not went through with the shot. The shot execution there was totally duff, because he wanted the cue ball to come back to here so he can pot that 4 and run down for the 5, and he's blown it big time. And now he's up the proverbial creek without a paddle. Well, there's the demonstration on how to get yourself in a whole pile of crap by not getting the shot right. The shot that needed to be executed correctly, he choked on it. And now he's nailed to the 6 ball. And he saw Sergeresh pinch the last one. And he's going to see Sergeresh have a go at pinching this one as well. Self-inflicted damage is the enemy for everybody in tournaments. There's nothing more embarrassing or worse than doing what you've just done when you've got the table wide open, than then lock yourself up, give yourself no shot, give your opponent ball in hand. Well, this isn't over yet, because that 8 ball's still tricky, and now he's got himself out of shape, Sergeresh. This is a no-no, this one. Watch the cue ball. Again, that's a cracking shot for that still to go in. But I'll tell you something, this will be even more cracking if this goes in. Because that's a hair's breadth off of being frozen to the rail. And this is going to be a beauty. That is an absolute cracker if it goes in. No, it's held in the knuckle. Well, HAZAD will be breathing a big sigh of relief if he can get on the 9. Just needs to slow up again. It's another one of these wee testers. And he's escaped there big time. And he's one away though. 7 ball goes in. The 1 ball is on. Now, the 2 ball. Well, he's decided to try and play a safe there. I presume the 1 didn't go. But he obviously hasn't achieved the safety. And Sergeresh, I don't know what Sergeresh is thinking now, all or nothing, because again he can play a half decent safety here rather than having an ambitious bang at this 2 ball. Stub, the only chance you've got, and this has been brutally honest, is a potter's chance. That's what you've got. That's the chance you've got. And you've got a fair chance. I'll give you that. But you're going to have to take a hell of a amount of risks if you bump into Mal, and you're going to stay with him. It's a tall order for anybody who's going to beat Mal. He's the odds-on favourite. The pressure might get to him for that matter. Where's this cue ball ending up? Well, there's a sickener for Sergeresh. HAZAD misses a 3, cue ball all the way up, tucks nicely behind the 9. And Sergeresh couldn't be in a bigger hole now. HAZAD in the hill, Sergeresh at the point of no return. And the only saving grace here is that Sergeresh doesn't move the 3 ball into play, because HAZAD could have a push at this 3 ball onto the 9. Well, he's got the hit. And HAZAD has got the pot. Oh, where's the cue ball? Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. This match is not over yet. Well, Slim, what do you think your chances are of going deep into the tournament after that match today? Good afternoon and good evening, by the way. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly one person that can't work out this guy that you played today. Well, Sergeresh is still in there. And all he has to do is keep trying and never give up, because you never know. The brake's working. The ball in the brake. Look at these balls. This rack is on the board. Sergeresh has got to run it out. Well, as I say, that guy is strange. Why he bangs at so many, you know, why he keeps banging to try and get nines, and then all of a sudden he'll start potting balls. But again, if you saw the level that Mal's playing at, and you know, you see the level that you're playing at yourself, then you realise you've got a lot to do to be in a position to challenge any of those guys, especially Mal if you bump into him. But I was making excuses for you that you don't play a lot of 9-ball. You only play it out of desperation for a game. That you don't get many volunteers for one pocket. I was defending you. But it is going to be a seriously tall order for anybody to come good on Mal once, let alone twice, if that's going to be the case in this tournament. Yeah, we'll be there in a little while. I don't know how long we'll be there, but I'll tell you something. This could end up going all the way. And I think, did Sergeresh get a ball there again? Yes, he did. He's got the 6. And if he can't pot the one, he can certainly put HAZAD in trouble. Or at least keep a good distance. And that will be good enough. Because now HAZAD's dreading playing anything for fear of leaving something on. Even though he's 12-9 up. And that's a strange effect that happens when you see somebody getting a couple of racks and getting closer to you. You start to panic. You're desperate to go over the line. You're desperate not to make a mistake. Then you start making mistakes. And then Sergeresh does that and gives you a chance to win the match. Well, he's going to have to take his medicine here and just roll up the table without scratching on this 3-ball. He's going to have to go as far as here at least, so that he can just smoothly brush past the 8 and land on the 5 off this 4. And he's not going to be in a better position to do it than where he is now. Just a gentle brush. And anything but dead straight. Well, that's straight enough. Again, what does he do? A little drawback and try and get it straight and roll it up. Yep, the sensible shot. So he's 3 shots away. And now, just stun it off the bottom rail and over to the right, and you're on the 9. And just make sure you're high enough up. Well, he can't miss this. So this for the match. For a 13-9 win. And HAZAD goes through in an hour and 14 minutes to the next round on that one loss side. And where the hell is it? We can get the bracket to work. Must be up here. There we go. So, no, that's not it. That's Tommy U. Where the hell is the thing gone? Or is he through already? Why can't I see this on the bracket? Oh, there it is, at last. And he's waiting on the winner of that match, or wherever there is going to be a match, I don't know. between Shooters Pool Pro and Mr. Fox. So HAZAD is lying in wait. He's got up until the 27th, so there's plenty of time. They've got until the 23rd. And in the meantime, without further ado, we will get over into the main event of the evening. And that's the winner's side match with Spectredawn and Hairpig in the race to 19. Right, so Spectredawn has already got that gap. That couple of racks gap. But again, no sooner have I said that, he's got himself in that awkward place on the 6 ball. And in it goes. And another testy one. Well, he's leaned himself these testy ones, but they're going in. That's the difference. Well, you got there in the end, HAZAD. You got there eventually. It looked at sometimes that occasionally you were doing your best not to, but you got there. Well, 4-1 is a big enough gap this early in the match. And Spectredawn has missed one. Has he got away with it? Well, it's not difficult to play the two to a third of that 8 ball and make sure it drops in anyway. But I think he can, well, he's digging down just to kill it for the 3, provided the 2 goes in. And it's gone in. And he's actually, well, he's left himself half a shot. Or can he get the job done? Pressure's on though, trailing 4-1, got to get into this match quick. Don't want to start leaking racks. Well, he's going to have to run this one. Wrong side of the 4. Well, he's left it way up table. It's all going to hinge on the 5 ball. I mean, I think well, that 8 ball's tight enough past the 9. But this is the one that matters. And again, it's just one shot too many. Those opportunities, tough as they are in these racks, when you're up against players like Spectredawn, you know, all of these top guys, when you get that awkward chance, you simply have to be making the most of them, because that chance, once it's gone, it probably won't return. Although, having said that, Spectredawn's got himself right in that no man's land zone. It's going to the corner. And this time it ain't going, but that's the sort of running you need when you do miss. You end it up leaving it awkward again. And hairpig is needing a wee bit better running than that, than having to dig this out to try and survive the rack. But it is a second go he wasn't expecting. But it's not to be. Just asking that bit too much. Well, it's unbelievable from the point of view that hairpig's going to get a third go, and even on the third go he's still not getting a break. He's needing something hanging over a pocket to get this damn 8 ball down and get this rack done and put away. And he's got an unexpected third attempt here to get it done. And this time, at the third attempt, in goes the 8. And on goes the rack onto the scoreboard. Well, the thing is, you know, if you were putting in as much time, I mean, Spectredawn has been practicing all day, as far as I've seen. Any time I've looked, he's been pretty much in a room all day with 2 or 3 of the guys in challenge rooms. So he's puts loads of hours in table time in Virtual Pool 4, solidly at 9 ball. Occasionally he's in a room on his own playing snooker, but 99% of the time it's 9 ball, and he's doing it every day pretty much. So what you're lacking is probably the time, let alone the time, but the inclination to spend that time playing 9 ball. And unless you do that, you definitely won't have that consistency, and that's to be expected. You know, table time brings that begins to seep out the more you play. Meanwhile, Spectredawn played a clever little one there. Drops nicely down onto the 4, if all. Well, it looks a bit straight. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's a wee bit straight. Well, he's a lot straighter than you'd want to be, put it that way. Well, I'll tell you your biggest problem HAZAD from that match tonight, and it's the most obvious one that lots of players have got, and I am partial to it as well, and that is the weight of your shot. You were getting yourself out of line far too many times to that next ball, and that's the biggest mistake that we all make, and that is the one thing that's preventing us from getting to that higher level, is finding that weight control and concentrating enough to be able to execute that next shot that gives you that good weight control constantly, time and time again. It seeps away, it goes, you get 1 ball or 2 balls, and then suddenly you're way too low in 1 ball, way too high in the next one. We don't play it well enough to be consistent enough, and most of the time the weight control is the biggest problem. But these other guys, they've got it dialed in. I mean, I think most of us know how to pot a ball, but we just don't have it under the same tight control to get to that next ball. We're not reliable enough. We don't we don't trust ourselves enough either, and that's our biggest failing. If you look at Mal when he was at the table and the matches he's played, it's bosh, 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 and it's autopilot. Everything's autopilot most of the time. When he's at the table and all the balls are sitting there, it's autopilot because he knows the shot he's playing and he knows how to get to that next one, and the speed control is there. And the closest guy to him in this tournament's Cobra. That's the closest guy in the whole tournament that can possibly match up to Mal. His touch is excellent. And I take that back because the other guy I forgot to mention is Vinces. Vinces has got excellent touch as well, but again, he's somebody that does not play enough online for whatever circumstances they are. I mean, this tournament was crying out for somebody like him to be in it as well. Get some of the top end players in the tournament, and he's missing from it. And he's another player that is very capable, if only he put more time in the game. But anyway, hairpig. Where's this bloody cable going for my headphones? Hang on a minute. Right, there we go. Hairpig, trailing by 3 at the table, and he's going to go a bit pear shape on this 5 ball by the look of it. Yeah, that's no good. Is it all out for the bank? Is it all out for the extremely thin cut? What do you do here? How do you try and keep this safe? I mean, he could cross bank it down the middle of the table and try and get it down to where the 8-9 is. That'd be one option. But you've got to be brave to play something like that. This is a tall order. I think I'd be going for the bank. I would just I would pick my line and go for the bank up and down. Just give it at least 2 goes again at getting in a hole, rather than all your eggs into one basket. Give it a pop and give it 2 chances, and then just hope you get good in the 7th. Well, he's given it 1 chance, and he's tried, but it ain't there. No cigar. Now, it's got to be up and down. Well, he's trying to get it worked by the spin. He's going to have to go up and down again. Again, he's short by 2 feet as to where he wanted to be. He wanted to be looking at that from here so he could drop it in. So it's up and down. And the weight looks pretty good. That's excellent. And the gap is going to open up again, and it's going to 4. Well, the thing is, a lot of players, and I notice this more in Cowboy. You know, I can, because I play with a lot of the guys in the morning, but I notice that a lot of guys in when you watch these guys playing cowboy, sometimes there's a natural angle there off a ball to get to the, you know, if you're trying to play a carom, sometimes there's a natural angle there, and there's a lot of these guys don't see it. And a lot of them try and play shots with spin on it to get the cue ball moving half the time when they didn't need to. When all you do is play the line, is the line you take off that object ball when you hit it that can take you to the next shot. So there's needless use of spin when it's not required. Certainly in cowboy, and you know, positional shots. It's all about getting the right angle half the time. See if you get the right angle on that object ball that you're playing at, then you very often don't need to put any spin on it at all. You'll get there if you're in the right position to start with. Spin is only an aid when you're trying to get that ball to get to somewhere where the ball doesn't want to go. Well, Spectredawn is building up a head of steam here, which is a bit alarming if you're in Hairpig's corner, because it's now 7-2, and now the onus is on Hairpig to maybe start taking on things that he shouldn't. And again, this is where, when you're 7-2 down and it's a race to 19, you can't panic into doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do anyway in that situation as the table lies. You don't want to start pushing the boat out, because you can then just become even more vulnerable, which is fine as far as Spectredawn's concerned. He doesn't care. If you want to start sticking your neck out and taking big risks, you've got to learn when to attack and defend. At the moment, it's a rescue situation, so it's don't do anything daft. Play with common sense, and when you don't have a shot, make sure that the incoming guy doesn't have a shot. That's a sort of basic rule you need to stick to. But start pushing the boat out, you're just leaving yourself wide open to more severe damage. Yeah, but the thing is, the one thing about trains, Slim, is that they all run on a single track, and you can easily derail them by various means. So you don't want to capitulate. And like I say, Hairpig there is trying to do some miracle shot to break out the 4, when there's a bit more of a common sense approach required with that. Now, the lucky thing for him is that he missed the 3 and he also missed hitting the 4. So at least Spectredawn doesn't have a shot. But he now does, so there's the problem. And that's exactly the point I'm making. You have to be careful. You have to start shutting up, you know, putting up the shutters and bide your time a bit more. Hairpig's looking to be aggressive, and Spectredawn has just jumped on the opportunity there. He had the angle and he's made the mistake. You know, he's trying to get into such a rhythm to keep going. He's going to make errors like that. Now Hairpig has his chance. Who the hell's Snowpiercer? You need to explain that one to me, because that's went straight over my head. Oh, I'll never see that then. Good evening, Mark. You dropping in just before bedtime, because I'm desperate to get to mine. And, well, if Hairpig doesn't take this out, it might not be too long before I'm getting to my bed. Well, it looks as if Hairpig's going to rescue one. You know the thing I haven't found out? Where the hell's Hairpig from? The States. So, it's one back, but there's still a long road. But it was the unforced error from Spectredawn that cost him that. And unfortunately, again, for Hairpig, when you need that ball in a shot next rack, nothing's doing. The 1-3 combo, though, comes in handy. Oh, I think he's been unlucky. I think he might be able to just... Can he nudge? No, he can't. Can't even get to it. I thought he could maybe just catch enough of it to drop it in. Now we've got a bit of cat and mouse going on here. I'm not 100% convinced he can see enough of that to cut it, but he probably can do, so don't take my word for it. Yes, he can. That's a great shot. Needs a bit of luck, though. Needs a bit of luck, and he's got it. Now, can he take full advantage of that? Oh, you're not telling me he's on the knuckle here. No, he's okay. I thought he was on the point there. Whoa, well, he's found a way to get himself. Oh, I forgot about the 4 ball. I'm looking at the 5. See, you're getting me excited here. I forgot he was in the 4. I thought he was playing for the 5 there. The brain's shutting down again. But it is vital after that little bit of rub that Hairpig got there, that he can try and take this out. Is this 6 going past the 8? Yes, it does. You've got to keep a hold of that cue ball, though. And just a mention to anybody who hasn't checked the bracket, there's 2 matches on, one in the middle of the night, Monday morning at 3 AM, Shaft Tracks and Cirrus, I think it is, on the one-loss side. And there's, Mark, you can watch the Bill match tomorrow at 11:30. Bill's playing Tommy U at 11:30 British summertime tomorrow morning. And needless to say, I won't be able to stream anything because I'll be at work. so you can let me know how things went. Meanwhile, hairpig 1 ball away from another rack. Back to 7-4. Wanting a ball and a shot as usual. That's tilted right this time. The 2 balls further to the left at the bottom of the diamond than the 1 ball is at the top. 5 ball goes in. Oh, look at this table. Well, if that 3 ball stays out of the way, well, that 3 ball has just scuppered, I think, the chance to keep this run going. He can't see enough of the 1. And had he been able to see the 1, he could have been running out. Very likely to run out. That's a sickener. When you need that wee bit more running, it ain't happening. But he's played a good safety. Now is hairpig, is he going to take the bait here and go for the cut? No. Well, was he trying to keep the cue ball behind the 3 because he's nowhere near it? Was he trying to bank the 1 because it's almost there? But either way, he's let Spectredawn in. And Spectredawn, I thought I'd overhit it there, but he's okay. Well, this is awkward because he's running up the top left-hand corner. If he's not playing it anywhere else other than in the middle, or is he thinking twice about it? I think that's what he's gone for. Yeah, it's a tough ask to get that at that angle. Completely blind pocket cut. It doesn't matter. Hairpig has his chance. Now, is he going to brush into that 7 ball? Or is he going to be able to squirt round the back of it and get out for this 4? Well, he's hit the 7, and what's more, he's locked to 7 up, so his chance is gone. Unless he can pot the 4, I think he's going to have to check this a bit. If you look at this 4, he can pot the 4, but he might have to check this so that when he hits the rail, he maybe gets to about here, so that then he can cut the 6 and run and try and get into there. So he's going to have to straighten this up. He's playing with inside right, so he's got the general idea, but I don't think he's hit it enough. He's trying to get it in the square side to come up this side. Well, I don't think that's going to work. You're going to have to convince me this will work, because that's nowhere near where I thought he should have been. The only other problem with my idea is the 9 ball. That's the only other problem, but if you've got it right that way, you've got to come down that way and get in there. Let's see if we can draw this. I think he's too square on it, unless you're going to try and go 2 rails to get across and hit that. But I don't think it's on. Well, at the end of the day, it was never on. the commentator's eye was right in the first place and what he should have done. And I don't think Spectredawn's made a completely great effort there. Well, he has got cover. I thought he had just exposed that 7 slightly. No, he's okay. Well, that's, in all truth, that's not a bad result. You know, there's nothing easy where this 7 ball's sitting, let alone get good on the 8. So Hairpig's got to be happy with it. And the mistake's been made, and Hairpig's getting another go. And this time, he just needs to drag off that 7 ball so that he leaves an angle for the shot in the 8. And then he can get out into the table for the 9. But he's got to do it this time. No more free goes. Good evening, Popman. Is that you finish your tennis or finish your pool or finish whatever the hell else it was you were talking about earlier on? VR, of course, I'm talking about. And that's a good one. And here, Pig. Back to within 2. Well, am I right in saying that Spectredawn was 7-2 up? Or am I just falling asleep? I mean, Hairpig's won the last 2, if not 3. He's had some assistance from Spectredawn, but Spectredawn was threatening to run away with it. But slowly but surely, Hairpig's doing his best to get back in it. Well, that's gone wrong. And it's the only saving grace is the fact it's gone awkward for Spectredawn. But if he can dig this 1 ball out, he's surely got to be able to see the 2. But I mean, where he's sitting, it's right at the point where, you know, you've got such a tough cut, and he's gone all out for it. And what's more, it's sitting plumb for a 1-9 combo. Well, he's got to go for it. I mean, you get down low, you look at the line of the 1, and look at where you want to hit the 9. And just imagine that the 1's your cue ball, and then it goes. And what a bonus that is for Hairpig. Back to within 1. But dry. And I mean, this is what Bill did. Bill did this for like 3 racks last night, right? Broke, the balls ended up like this. The 1 ball was on, Malcolm in, boom, boom, boom. Bang, there it goes, end of rack. And Bill had to sit and watch that. And Spectredawn has to be doing that from this position. Because that's the level that's required. Not only if you're going to stay in the winner's side, but if you're going to be challenging way deep into the tourney. Good evening, Mal. Speak of the devil, and there he is. Now, how is he sitting? I mean, I suppose he's trying to hold for it. That'll do. So he's 4 balls away from completing his objective. No, we haven't seen Matt on here. No, he's definitely not been in. Or if he has been, he might be there, but he's not said anything. Or if he has done, I've missed it. And meanwhile, Spectredawn is definitely going to keep Hairpig at arm's length. Hairpig's run comes to an end, and the gap goes back to 2. Now, see when you say Matt Clark, Mooncake, you're talking about McClarkey, aren't you? You're not talking about Malcolm. You're not mixing the two up, are you? You're definitely talking about MC Clarkey. Right, got you. So, the scratch, I presume it was a scratch because I was busy reading the chat, but anyway, Hairpig immediately has ball in hand. Now, what's this 9 ball looking like? Well, it's looking not bad, especially if you're at this end of it. It's not looking too bad if you're this side either, because there's plenty of room, you're not going to scratch off it. Is that who you play next? Because he's in the UK, so he's, what is he, an hour in front of you? Because I can't remember where everybody's from. Well, I think you can just get in the gap there. Just and no more. Well, what a bonus that is. Because it was just, well, no sooner have I said that, the commentator's curse has done it again. He was just about to get lucky with a 5 ball, and now he's run into the 6 and he's dead in the water. Oh dear. Well, this is a big chance gone. Big chance. Now, where's he going to try and hide? Or what's he going to try and do? But if you not still get plenty of time though. Like till like the 23rd or something like that. Well, it's not good enough. It hasn't. If it ran another 2 or 3 inches, it would be a lot tougher. But it's not going to stop Spectredawn having a go. And in it goes. And we know the 9 ball isn't going to be a problem, as long as he gets good enough on that 8. Well, again, if you're ever in doubt, make sure you overhit it, but no, maybe not quite as much as that. Don't start that rumour, Slim. Hairpig. Well, it was one positional shot away. One positional shot away. And all of a sudden, the gap is 3 again. What's happening? In fact, how did John Higgins finish against that that Chinese boy? What was the end of the session? And more to the point, what's happening tonight? Somebody tell me, please, because I don't even know who's playing tonight in the snooker. Oh, has he nudged that 8 far enough? Can he see the 2? He can just get there, I think. Maybe not. He's putting a wee bit on it, but he's got there, and the pace is good enough to get a shot in the 3. Now, again, (9-4) in Maguire. Jesus. Yeah, I think that natural hairstyle of Robertson's working for him. Looking like Little Orphan Annie, or Harpo Marx, however you, depending on what era you want to look at. So Hairpig trying to lock away the cue ball. Done a reasonable job of it. Higgins is 4-3 down. By God, that's taking some time, is it not? I mean, the thing is, you know, if Robertson's bugged about the fact that he's got curly hair, the biggest way to solve that is to shave the whole damn thing off. Just get a 0 all round and then you've not got any problem with curls. That's what I've done. Mind you, I don't have curly hair though. But that's what I had last week. Not a 0 all over, no messing about, in 5 minutes and out the door. I went in 10 minutes last Wednesday morning before they actually opened. The girls were coming in to open the hairdressers, and they let me in the door because I was first customer on the books. And before it was 9 o'clock, I was done and dusted and out the door. No messing. Number 0 all over. In fact, what's his name? Him that get beat this afternoon by the Chinese boy. By Yao Bing Tang, or whatever his name is. The other boy, him with the specs. What the hell's going on with his hair? That he's got like short back and sides, and then he's thinning on top with a kind of silly looking, a silly looking quiff. I mean, I was shouting at the TV saying, why the hell don't you just get a number 1 all over the top? Because you look bloody silly with that hairstyle. He just looks crazy. With this tuft in the top of his head. I'm at the stage now where number 0 all over is fine for me. Because when I went there Wednesday morning, that was the longest my hair was for since 1997. It was so bloody annoying. Well, the combo to 9 there by Hairpig attempted. He's back to within. No, he's not. He's trailing by 4 again. Yeah, Martin Gould. I'm telling you, he's a good outside bet to go deep into the tournament. This Chinese boy, him that won the Masters. You know, because he's got the same sort of, you know, he's like old stone face at the darts. They don't give much away, and he's, I think he's a good outside bet. I'd put £1 on him. So hairpig back at the table again. And the 5-9 combo is sitting there to be nailed. It is unmissable, this 5-9. As long as you've potted the 4 and get the cue ball back out to here. But anything can happen. Well, he was he got beat by, what's his face, won it in the semi-final last year, or not necessarily last year, but last summer when the tournament went ahead. Well, we know what the order of the day is here. Pot the 4, check the cue ball, off the rail, back out, and try and get it as straight as you can on that 5-9. Well, he hasn't got the check on it as much, but maybe there was too much angle for it to have great effect. But you still need to botch this up and scratch off the 5. Well, he's managed to make sure he's not going to do it, so the bonus ball has gone in. Trailing by 3. Maguire out. There you go. Another. See, he's the biggest underachiever with a cue, Maguire. And he's, because he's been around for a while, and I still think he's a big underachiever. In fact, most of the time, he beats himself. His head's not screwed on properly half the time. He's a bit better nowadays, but he should be getting through the first round at the World Championships. Well, the mistake is made. The 1 ball's gone outward. But again, these type of tables, the 3 balls outward, it's very awkward considering the 6 is a blocker down the rail. So that's the sort of lifeline that the hairpig's going to have for the time being. But once you start going behind, it's not to panic. By all means get worried, but don't panic. What does that say there? Grandad knocked the bottom of their house through to put a snooker table in. 3-bed semi. Oh, Maguire's granddad you're talking about. Now, what the hell's Cobra talking about? Because I'm in a different wavelength here. What's Cobra talking about? The mods suck. Whereabouts? What, in the VP4 lobby? And who is it you're talking to, Cobra? Have I missed a part of this conversation? Oh, Twitch. Well, is Twitch still messing about? I get things refused all the time. Right. 1170 Spectredawn. Hang on a second, let me try some. Hang on, back in a minute. Right, I'm back. Now, I've been into Twitch, and I've got everything on the auto mod thing set to off. The profanity thing, everything's off. Not that we want profanity, but it's all off, right? Whether that happens, whether that'll work when I stream next time, or whether it'll happen now, I don't know, but it's all off and it's all saved. So anyway, back to the match. So there's nothing more I can do on what do you call it, on Twitch, to change anything as to how the chat works, or what you're allowed to do or what you're not allowed to do. Everything in moderation is off. Whoa, that's a bad one. That is a bad one. And yeah, that thing on Facebook, where you've got this 3-day ban, that's hilarious. That we're saying something about arse cheeks. I mean, what's the world coming to? And in fact, more to the point, did somebody report that as offensive or something, as an offensive joke? I mean, come on, what the hell's the world coming to? You know, this is the thing about this bloody politically correct society that we were talking about the other day. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, everybody's scared of offending somebody else. I mean, God forbid you say anything about the Muslims and all these people. God forbid. I mean, it's castration's no good enough for that. It's your bloody head lopped off. You know, it's the only religion where they can say they're doing something and they shout out God is great as they blow your head off. You know? Anyway, that's the way the world is going. And the bad news for Hairpig is, whatever work he has managed to put in, he's going to have to do it again. He's now back to trailing by 5. Well, that's digging yourself out of a hole. There's another little tricky shot here. I think the 2 goes. It just goes. Well, this is it's going to look a bit grim here at the end of this for Hairpig. Well, 13-7 is now getting to a damage limitation, but there's still a way to go. But this is the point where Hairpig needs some assistance now. You know how, I mean, you can see how politicians and government look after each other. What's the name of him? Is it Matt Hancock? Where he's got shares in a company that was due business from the government. Is that not right? But apparently he didn't have to declare it, and apparently he's done everything right. Apparently, you know, jobs for the boys. That's what it's always been about. And I hope Malcolm Clark's there still listening to this, because he wants to get involved with it. You know, once the corruption only starts once you get the power. You know, that's when the corruption really kicks in. Well, I'll tell you something, Slim. There's been no rerun of Benny Hill on our television channels here since they shut him down back in the the mid '80s. You know, it's never been rerun, and it never will be. The only way you'll see Benny Hill's on YouTube, or on a fan site that's got a lot of these stuff uploaded on it. I mean, there will be out there. It's just a matter of finding them. But again, that's too politically incorrect to be shown nowadays. Well, the problem's the 7 ball, but once again, if you have an adjacent ball to that next ball, then it makes it a wee bit easier. So if you manage to cut the 3, get on the 4. Where's the cue ball going? It's not that bad, maybe just too much an angle. Just going to have to drag it a wee bit. Or if he lets it run plain ball, he might be okay. Aye, he's fine. Now, this is the one. Is it going to just be a long 7? It looks like it. Now, how far back do you go for in Crossroads? Because I go back as far as the guy in the wheelchair. You know, how that ran the Meg Richardson, Sandy in the wheelchair, yeah, Benny with the bonnet, and the wee woman that used to work in the kitchen, and Shuey McPhee, him that was in The Great Escape, and got himself shot on the barbed wire when he tried to escape. Shuey McPhee. I remember all of that. Well, Meg Mortimer once she was remarried, yes, but Meg Richardson as she was originally. Yeah, used to watch that because and the only reason I ever watched Crossroads at that time of night, because when I was coming home from school, I would have my dinner and I'd be sitting in front of that watching Crossroads. There we go, 2 balls in the break, but it's 14-8 now. It looks like it's only a matter of time. Tony Hatch wrote the theme tune, but who wrote the second theme tune for Crossroads? There's a trivia question. Somebody will go and Google it and get the answer, but I'll tell you before you do. It was Paul McCartney and Wings. There you go. Go and Google it and find out. That's how sad I am, because that's the sort of information that I have. I mean, I know that, you know, silly things like, I think stupid things stick in my mind. You know, what was the name of the colonel in MASH? You know, right up until the end. What was his name? Harry Morgan, right? Well, he was in MASH more than once. He had 2 separate roles in MASH, if you remember. Yeah, Colonel Potter. He was Colonel Potter for like 6 or 7 years, but he was in one of the early episodes where he was a crazy general. And I think that's why they brought him back. He was funny in that episode. So, and the other thing to remember about MASH as well is, and I've seen MASH over and over, do you know that, do any of you guys, bear in mind Larry and Slim's here, because you will have seen MASH often enough, and I've seen often enough repeats. Do you know that in the early episodes of MASH, there's one episode where I'm sure that, what's her name, Hot Lips, I'm sure she mentions something about her dad dying or something. And the next thing you know, he's coming to the bloody camp. What's his name? Iron something or whatever it is. Iron something Houlihan. So obviously the script writers got that wrong, and they didn't backtrack for continuity in the scripts. You only pick these things up once you've seen it 150 times. That's the sort of sad trivia that I remember. Oh, you're talking about the movie with Donald Sutherland. Was it? No, that's not. I'm mixing it up. What's his name? Him that married Elliot Gould. Him that married what's her face? Was it Donald Sutherland that was in it? Elliot Gould was in the original MASH movie as well, and he was married to a Barbara Streisand for a little while, I think. Sad information like that is what I remember. Anyway, Hairpig back. Well, trying to get to double figures basically. He's got 1 back, still trailing by 5. Just I presume that's a push out, yep. Now, what does Hairpig do? Does he take the risk of putting Spectredawn in? And is there a risk of the scratch off this? What do you do here with this shot? Do you give it back? Name 2 characters that were in both the film and the series. That were in the original film and the series. Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you another. There was actually 2 different Father Mulcahys. There you go. I think the pilot episode of MASH had a different Father Mulcahy in it than the one that went right through the rest of the series. That's another thing I remember. There's a totally different guy plays Father Mulcahy in the beginning. And here's another thing. Did they drop the black guy? What did they call him? Spear Chucker. They had him in for the first 2 or 3 episodes, but he never really got anything in the script, and then he sort of disappeared. And did they drop him out of the series because they called him Spear Chucker and it was racist? You know, because you know what American television's like for being politically correct. I mean, goodness me. Back in that time, they never said anything offensive. It was all family viewing. But as I said, that was a strange character. He was in those opening episodes, had 1 or 2 lines, but never really. I just don't think they had a direction to actually have this guy going any further in the series. So they quickly booted him out the door. Yep. And of course, what's the biggest irony in MASH? The one main irony in the whole of the MASH series, right from start to finish. The biggest irony is that Klinger was always wanting to go home, and the finishing irony is he's the only one that stayed after the whole thing finished. He got married and he stayed. Well, hairpig, you've got to double figures. You're back to within 4. I don't know. I haven't the foggiest idea. We're waiting to get excited about this match. That's what it is. Harry Morgan. He was in some good films as well back in the 50s. He had bit parts. He was in, of course, John Wayne's last film, The Shootist, where he played the town sheriff. John Wayne played J.B. Books. You also had, what's his name, out of Happy Days in it. He was the son. You had Humphrey Bogart's wife in it. She played the woman that run the boarding house. And Scatman Crothers was in it as well. Him that was in The Shining. Well, this is now developing into, again, a very important rack here. If hairpig can get a break here with this collision that he's going to have, unless he thinks he can draw off this and avoid it. Let's see if he can. Alright, delicate little soft draw. Now, what does he do? Firm stun? Or is he going to try and draw off it and avoid the 9 again? Just managed to do it. Back to within 3. Oh dear, commentator's curse has done him. There we go. Straight down the Swanee. That's a bad one. That is sore. Yeah, you've got to look at the angle. You know, zoom out, have a look at it. Get that image of the potting angle and then play the shot. But, you know, that's the best way of shooting yourself right in the foot. You do all the hard work and then you fail in the final hurdle. And that could be, well, it would have been getting interesting. But it's back to 5 again. But that's self-inflicted damage. I mean, they still show, when I get home, when I'm sitting at my dinner at night, I watch the old episodes of Star Trek. I'm not talking about Star Trek, The Next Generation or anything like that. I'm talking about the original stuff, and I've seen them umpteen times. Loads of them. I could probably act out the scripts. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of those channels now. Yeah, I mean you've got MASH, like 2 episodes, and well, they go through a series where eventually it will run out and then they'll start showing it again. But usually it was 2 or 3 episodes a night. Well, there's a bad one from Spectredawn. And was that with ball in hand as well? That was a bit duff. And I think, you know, it's getting latish at night over here, so there's a wee bit of tiredness setting in. And bear in mind, Spectredawn's been on pretty much morning, noon and night practicing this. Well, just a dead weight shot in the 2, unless he's got a slight angle where he can pop off the rail just to come out. Oh, there's a... See, you want to be right into the table there so you get full control of the cue ball. He's jacking up, he should be okay. Well, it's coming up to 9:30. So 9:30, what's that? 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. That's 3 hours. And then at 4:30, I'm out my bed, back to the grind. Well, it's getting a bit late to run a few. That would be certainly well, maybe not an instant cure, but it would certainly help his situation. And to do that, he needs a ball and a shot, and he needs to finish this rack first of all to have that chance. Well, again, he's just not getting into that enough. You want to be a bit squarer in this 9. This is where the doubt sets in. But you've got to be convinced and convicted, you know, committed so we're not convicted. So here we go, 15-11. That's straight. Ball in the break, think a wing ball went in there, it looked like the 4. Oh, that little kiss in the 1 there, off the rail, keeps it in play. It's a little bit of a tight angle, but the cue ball's coming down for the 2, no doubt about that. It's going to be a 5-6 combo. And then the problems start. Now, see if he'd got better on that too. Does he want to get greedy and try and draw into this 8 and 9 and try and create something here? He's not looked at it. He might have missed a chance there, because the chances are he would have still had a shot in the 3 ball. He should have maybe tried to deal with that 8 and 9. I work in .com in Tesco, the big supermarket. Well, I don't know why he didn't try and risk something just to nudge that 8 and 9. I mean, again, you have to be fully aware of the situation. You see where the 3 ball is, you're going to be really long odds not to see the 3 ball by having a go at breaking that 8 and 9. He's still going to try something here. Well, I think he maybe tried something, but I think it's too late. He's now poker straight virtually on the 7. Well, I would admit we'll never know, but it could have been a chance. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good shot to try and get to the 8 and 9, but I think I would have risked it to try and create something, because now he's ended up with no real chance. Well, he can obviously do that if he can get there. So again, he's trying to force it, and he would have ran into them, but now he's lost a rack because of it. So this all started. You know, he's tried to create a miracle shot there and wasted it. Well, we'll never know. But I still think the commentator was right there in trying to take the chance to get the break out, but not from that position, from where the 3 was sitting. Just draw off the 2, try and get some spin, and it's all gone. So, Spectredawn marches on. There, that rhymes. 16 racks to 11. I'm having to get out my chair now to see the score. That's how tired I am. Yeah, I've got it in video, Slim. Don't worry about it. I've got video evidence. Don't forget. The chat's all recorded in the video. I saw stop typing that. Well, All the balls are there. Now, can Spectredawn get this cue ball moving? Yes, he certainly can. That's a good shot, especially to find that narrow gap between the 3 and 4. And he's got the table pretty much at his mercy. Let's have a look at this 4 ball. Well, the 4 ball goes as well. There's plenty of room past the 7 to cheat it into the pocket. Is that who Stubbs waiting on, the winner of this match? Well, if it is, at least we know it's not going to be in the middle of the night. Or is it Slim? Well, it's not over yet, Popman, because Spectredawn's got himself out of line. Well, I want to get to bed. I mean, I wish it was over. I want to get out of here. In fact, I wanted a cup of coffee before I went to bed. Yeah, you keep thinking positive thoughts, Stub. Just like you always do. Keep doing it. Now, one day they might come to fruition. I take it this is a guy with a gun. Well, hairpig. Table at his mercy again. May well be getting another one back. But is it too late? But this, that's the beauty of this this normal setup, is that, you know, you're not dead and buried as long as you've got control of the table, as long as you're getting a break, even this late in the match, and with only a couple of racks to spare. The theory is that, and it's a very possible theory, that hairpig could run out the match. It's a slim chance, but he has to keep thinking that, because it's the only options he's got. But the brakes don't work that good in Virtual Pool 4 to have any reliability in that score. Well, he's taking his time, and you know what? He took far too long over that 9 ball. Way, way too long. That is way, way too long in that 9. I mean, you don't even need to look at that 9 other than get your first initial glimpse of where it is off the rail, and then natural instinct takes over. That was really poor, and that is definitely the point of no return now. I think hairpig's had his day on the winner's side. Now, I think the 3 ball will squeeze past the 4, but it is tight. Yeah, but it's gone in though. And he's brought the 4 into play. And this is it. To see if Spectredawn can get the job done. This match started at 8 o'clock. We're now an hour and 35 minutes, 36 minutes into it. turning it into place, and that's just gone a wee tad too far, but the angle's good to get on the 7. So 3 balls away for Spectredawn, and I think at the end of the day there was always ever going to be 5, 6, 7 racks between them. Hairpig couldn't get a momentum going. In fact, neither player really did. It has been one of these bits and pieces matches. So we'll have a little look at the stats as well to see if Spectredawn's improved on the racks run. He must have got 1 or 2 surely tonight, but he certainly got this one. So 1 more to go. I've tried that lure and I thought it was, I didn't actually like it. Do you know something? I couldn't wait to finish the jar. It just didn't have enough kick in it for me. I don't know what one I had. But I only got it because it was on offer. But I prefer the Nescafe. What's the ones that come in the tin tubs? The Americano and the Espresso one, and the Intenso. They do an Intenso one as well. I prefer them. Well, that's another good table for Hairpig. No, I've never tried anything like that. I like just the you know the tubs, the little tin tubs of the instant coffee. I don't like coffee enough to go to the trouble of paying money for equipment to do my own coffee. I'm strictly boil a kettle, you know, coffee, water, sugar, milk, whatever, and away we go. Oh well, Hairpig trying to get the cue ball back out into the table for the 9, and he's rattled it 4, trying to pinch too much, but he's actually got it safe. I mean, that's a beastie thing to try and cut, but you know, like most of these guys, Spectredawn's not going to turn his nose at it. He's going to have a go at it, and that, you know, that's just trying 1 too many. He's at the stage now, but I don't think he really cares. He just wants to get the match done. Now, the 5 will go. Plenty of room, but he's got to move the cue ball though. He's got to get it over to that left side and let it run. He's got it running, he's got the 5, and he's not too bad on the 6. Now, does he want to try and come back up the table, or, you know, he might be forcing a bit too much. I think if he runs around the corner, he might run into the 7, and that's the problem. Looking at the angle in this now, he's doing the sensible thing. He's just leaving it short, but he's not got there. So it's another toughie. And the problem now is that this could be Hairpig's last shot on the winner's side. That's a good shot though. That's excellent. In the context of the match, it's an excellent shot because he knew fine well what the consequences were if he didn't get it. You know, he's clinging on for dear life now. He doesn't want to get anything juicy into this. Well, he has done, and he's overhit it to make sure he does get across. So that was clever thinking. So this to live another life. So it's 1812. Now, what's the plan here? Reverse bank and try and hopefully get the cue ball down the table and avoid the traffic. No, he's looking to tuck it away, but he hasn't got there. But he could be in trouble in a minute or two here, Spectredawn. Or at least he should be, because there's good hiding places here for hairpig. Oh, it's brushed to 7. It's going to tuck in behind the 9 and 3, but it's not tucked in tight enough not to stop Spectredawn having a jump. Well, really it's just a jump escape, because he's not going to be anywhere near good on the 2 if he pots this one. How does that look? Well, it will go, but he's got no clue where the cue ball's ended up. Well, he's trying to draw away off this one. I don't think it's... Well, that is excellent. That is a great effort to drag off there and kill the pace and try and hold and at least give himself a half decent shot on the 2. It is not bad. And checking it back for the 3. Now again, this is the one where you take your medicine, just brush off the 9 and leave the long 4. The 5's over the middle, so you don't need to do anything. Don't want to be aggressive. Well, he's trying to kill this. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, there you go. Why was he trying to kill it? Why, I mean, why worry about that so much when the 5 is over the pocket? You know, it's just a bad idea. You just had to roll it. I mean, anybody with half an ounce of common sense could pot the 5 and at least get the cue ball on the 6. You know, that is just digging a hole, knocking the final nail in the coffin, that shot there. You know, why did he try to be clever? You know, you don't get prizes for... There's the ultimate insult. He scratched off the 5. The cue ball fits into the gap, but Spectredawn is looking more like he wants the combo. Well, it's not the best way to lose the match. To play the shot that he played, killing the cue ball, especially when there's a ball like that adjacent to where you're roughly wanting to be. and you get it wrong, and then you nail yourself behind it. I mean, it's just asking for the ultimate punishment, and it's going to be delivered, I'm afraid. Well, of course, you've got to get onto the 9 good. The 9 is off the rail, but you don't want to be leaving it in bedhead territory. And he wants to get that cue ball moving. Well, he's going to have to fizz it around the table. The angle's there, so you go there, 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 and there. That's the line, roughly. And it's just going parallel there, and almost on the end of the point. How about that for a commentator's eye? So, this to take Spectredawn through to the next round by 19 racks to 12, but Hairpig does not want to watch that final rack. Right, quick look before you go. Let's see what Spectredawn has done to the stats. And we see that Spectredawn is now through to play slim. Back to event, go to stats, go to 9 ball, go to racks run, and Spectredawn is up to 13. Stub out in front in 20. Albinario and Cobra closely behind. Larry's still stuck in 15. Excuse me. And then whatever the percentage you say, but I can't be bothered looking. Right, I'm off to bed, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your company. I don't know when the next match will be. Certainly next weekend it will be. There's one big one on Saturday night and one on Sunday night. So I hope you can join us and just keep an eye out if there's anything during the week. So until then, I am off to bed. It's been good, and I hope to see you again soon. And good night.